Hey guys, Jason here from Electric Bike Technologies, and today I'm going to show you the Liberty Trike and how easy it is to unbox. This is an unfiltered unboxing, so I really want you to see in real time with no cuts or edits what it's like for me to pull Liberty Trike out of the box as you would get it when it's delivered to your front door, and what that process is like getting it up and running. So I'm just going to jump right into it. I have Brandon over here on the side, and he's going to help me in a little bit just to get it out of the box. When you get your Liberty Trike, it's going to come in this box, and if you want to come get a view on top here, you can see what it's going to look like. You're going to have a lot of stuff. It's all wrapped up in bubble tape, and it's going to look like this. So the first thing we're going to do is start to pull things out of here. I'm going to pull this front wheel up, and I'm going to pull out the handlebar. Okay, front wheel and handlebar. I'm going to lay that down right here on the ground very carefully. Come back to it, okay? And then I'm going to take out the frame, and this is the part you should really have two people when you do this. So Brandon, if you want to grab the front of the frame, before I do that we can pull the seat out. There's the seat, we'll lay that on the ground carefully. And then I'm going to take the two back tires. Brandon's going to take the front of it. We're going to pull this out, take the box over here and put it down just like this. Now there is a little stand there, and that's going to help protect the chain for this kind of setup. I'm going to put the box to the side. You want to keep the box too. If you have to return your trike for any reason, it's going to be much easier if you have the original packaging. So we're going to take this apart now. Brandon's going to stick around and potentially help me with one more bit here of a balancing act. But we're going to take all this bubble wrap off. Over here we have the manual, the printed manual, and then we have, in this box, we have the charger for the battery and some business cards and the keys for the battery, and we'll get into that in a little bit also. So let's see here. You can pull off the protective coverings and things like that. So I'm going to take those off the seat. I'm going to go ahead and just put the seat in right now. So I'm going to loosen this quick release right here. There's a quick release for the seat. I'm going to twist the stem in a little bit, make sure you get to that minimum insertion bar. I'm just going to put that in like that. Over here I'm going to unwrap carefully the handlebars and the front end. Okay? So take this bubble wrap off carefully. I can stand this up and lift it off. Okay? There we go. Now this is important. So you have these two pieces here, and you want to make sure you're getting them on the right way. So, a bit of a balancing act. Brandon, if you can take the handlebar. Let's turn that handlebar the right way. So, important piece of the puzzle here. The front wheel should go like this. On my left side, over here, we have a disc brake rotor. That's this guy right here. That should always be on your left when you're sitting on the bike looking down, that rotor. That's where disc brakes go. That's how you know the wheel is going to go forward. Next thing I'm going to do is we're going to put the handlebar in. If you come over here as a quick release, it's another quick release, just like the seat. And we're going to loosen that. And we're going to slide that in there. Don't worry about the height yet. We're going to go ahead and just tighten that up for now. All right, now here's the tricky part. This is the balancing act. This here is how we're going to connect the frame. Okay, you have a two-piece frame, and people are always asking, how easy or how difficult is this? Well, when you have two people, it's much easier. If you don't have two people, there's a locking mechanism on the handle. You can lock the front wheel, and you can try to balance it a little bit. But this is the real deal. You want to make sure that this quick release, this is another quick release clamp right here for the frame, right, for the hinge. So you want to pull this up, but here's the tricky part. You want to line up these holes. This one here in the frame and this one here. And this is where the clevis pin goes. So you have to get the correct angle, and you have to work it up and down a little bit. The key here is getting this clevis pin in the first hole. After that, you can jiggle around a little bit and you can push it in, and underneath here, I don't know if you can get down there and see that, but it pops out the bottom and it's got a little ball bearing that stays in place. That's half the hinge, and that's really, how difficult it is to get together. But two people helps. After you do that, you get this guy in the middle, close it, come around here, and then clamp that together. And that's your bike together in full. Now, The next thing you want to do is you want to make your connections, right? So we have back here, we have the battery. I'm going to go ahead, plug that in. This is where your power's at in your battery. Your battery comes pre-installed. Your battery wire runs out here and it runs under the frame. This is the one wire you have to connect and disconnect when you separate the bike in half. If you can see there, there's a little arrow on there and there's 2 prongs, and you can also look down in here, make sure that's lined up. So you want to get those arrows going and make sure that that is fully seated. That's the connection to your power. Now, that runs up to this box here. This is called a controller. And under the controller, you have 2 cables coming out. One of them is correctly going out here on the right-hand side and it's going to the motor. That's already connected. That should be a good connection there. Up here, we have what's called a 3-to-1 cable. That's running up here. It's going to your throttle, it's going to your LCD, and it's going to your on and off pad over here. This connection right here to your 3-to-1. This has arrows on it also. You want to be very careful with. It's fine pins. So you want to line this up, arrow to arrow, and you can look at that, make sure you've got it correct. Be very careful with this. Push this in all the way. So very snug, you don't want any gap in there, you want that seated well. So now we have our electronics all connected. We have our battery there in the back. Now, you're going to need your keys to turn this on. You do want to charge this when you get it for the first time, maybe charge it overnight, but it will come with some partial charge in it, so you are able to ride it out of the box if you're very excited and you want to go have fun. So over here, let's get over this side now. You're going to turn your battery on. So, your battery's locked into place already. You want to insert your key, and you want to turn to the right. That's it. Your battery's on. It's locked into place. If you wanted to take it off, you could do that and leave your battery locked into place. And if you wanted to remove your battery fully, you push in all the way. A pin has just come loose here, and it actually goes this way and slides out. You can pull it out. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back in. I'm going to turn it on. The on position is going to be 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, parallel to the ground. Can you get a shot of that? I want to make sure that's your on position. That's going to be key to make sure that everything works. All right? No pun intended. All right. If you come up here to the front, now, you're going to see me turn it on. So the way to turn your bike on is the push pad right here. You have a plus, you have an I in the middle, and you have a minus here. You want to just push the I button, and you're going to see the screen come on. Okay? So the screen comes on. You can see you have a couple bars in your battery. They ship partially full. You're going to see you have a little bit of test mileage down there and 0 miles per hour. And then you have this little guy here, which is a 4, but you can take this down. This is your 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels of power assist. 0 will not help you when you turn the throttle. 1 will be the least amount of power, and 5 will be top power and top speed. At this point, the Liberty Trike is together and it's ready. There's one more component here. Every Liberty Trike has a rear basket. And you'll notice we haven't used any tools yet. That's because you don't have to use any tools at all. The Liberty Trike rear basket, you're going to undo the wing nuts. And there are 2 washers, and there are rivets in the black box here, which covers the battery and holds the basket. So if I line this up, I can line up the holes as well. Put this in there. Be careful with threading. Get that one going. I can go to this one. And you want to line that up, see if you can see it, and get this one going. Right? So I got both. Now I can just turn these down so my basket is secure. And there you have it. No tools. Fully assembled Liberty Trike. At this point, if you want to, you can start to size things. You can take the basket, you can take the seat up and down, depending on your height and your riding style. Whatever you want to do, you can start to see what works for you, and then lock this in place. You could also do that with the handlebars up and down if you want. Critical points again, make sure this is bowed out and on the left side. This is the cable from the mechanical disc brake in the front. You want that bowed out and on the side. You don't want it wrapped around the neck at all. Same with these. You want this cable out here on the left. You want it free, your accessory cable. And on the right, you want this motor cable. And you want to make sure that this is connected all the way. So, at this point, I'm ready to ride. When you go to ride for the first time, you want to make sure that this, sorry to keep making you go back and forth, but this button is popped out. This is your reverse button over here on the throttle. When you turn the throttle, when it's popped out, you're in forward. If you press it in, you're in reverse. So I'm going to pop it out, and I can show you that wheel spinning. Popped out forward, press it in, now you're in reverse. So that's it. That's a Liberty Trike. That's a full assembly. That's the unfiltered version. Now you can see, I can hop on, and I can go for a ride. So hopefully that's helpful. If you have any questions, contact us. Support at libertytrike.com.